Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning into Oberon again and directly into our new episode of Gadgets Revisited. And today we're going to talk about button gadgets. Okay, so let's start right away. A button is very simple to make. Just place your mouse pointer somewhere on your desktop screen and open the Gadgets toolkit and just middle click on button and you get a button. We can enlarge it a little bit by placing the mouse pointer on the right corner, click the middle mouse button and drag it out. Okay, so you already know that you can configure every gadget in Oberon by use of Columbus, which is also part of the Gadgets toolkit. So let's select this button and click on Columbus. So what you already know is that Columbus contains a lot of fields. For example, you can give the button a name, which is very suitable in our case. So let's name it button 1. And you also have a caption, that's a string that is displayed in the button. And you can configure it to behave in different ways. So let's explore this a little bit. We click on apply and we deselect the button, and now when we click you see these small red LED lighting up when we click on the button, and as long as we held the left mouse button clicked, or better use the middle mouse button, because the convention Oberon is to use the middle mouse button to activate buttons, because you do the same procedure when you're activating commands in Oberon. You also use the middle mouse button. Okay, now let's change a little bit and select the button again, and let's deselect the pop-out option and press apply again. Now deselect, and you see now we have some kind of toggle function. The button is pressed and it stays pressed even when we release the mouse button. We press again, it is released, press again, it is pressed, press again, it's released. So this is a button that stays in the position where you bring it in by pressing with the mouse button on it. That's a toggle function. Okay. Then we have some more fields here in Columbus. We have a setval field. Setval field is used for something I'm going to explain you in a few minutes, because this is something special when you use those button configuration as radio buttons. Value, when you click on value, the button automatically behaves like a button that is linked to a Boolean model gadget. So it means it's true or false. True when it's pressed and false when it's released. Then we have a field and a command. A command is something you already know. You can, for example, apply a command in like desktops open doc. Let's say hello.mod. This is a program example. When you click on apply, and now we click on the button, and the button is invoking the command, and we have the hello world module, which is contained in the native Oberon system, opened on our desktop. Okay. So let's activate again the pop-out function. So the button is behaving like a normal button, and let's delete the command so we don't get annoyed by this popping viewers. Okay. Now you can see that you also can enable, disable the LED. When we click on apply, you see that now you can press a button and the LED is not lighting up. But you can do a little more. You can activate the LED and you can change the color of the LED. This is color position number 1 from the color palette in Oberon. When we change it to number 2, when we click on apply, deselect the button, now you can see it's becoming green. And if we select it again and we use color position number 3 from the color palette, you see that it's becoming blue. So you can vary this like you want. And even though you can change the color of the button itself. So for example, let's choose palette number 12. I don't know what it is. Let's see. And you'll see it's a darker gray. When we select it again, going back to 13, then again we have a light gray button. Okay, that's quite fine. Now we go over to the links section here. The links section, as you already know from the last video, is containing the model gadget behind it. That means the logic. Normally a button obviously has a logic of a Boolean value. It is on or it is off. Nothing else makes sense. So it's obvious to put a Boolean model gadget here inside this button. This is done in the way I showed you in my last video. So we can close this for now. This button is selected and we click here on the Boolean model in the gadgets toolkit. Okay. And now we start Columbus again. Go to the links section. And now you see we have some kind of round or ellipsoid button here. When you click on this, you can see that we have a Boolean model gadget as a logic behind this. And if you do some programming in a module, you can access these Boolean values. You can also give it a name, like for example on, and the value which is true, and apply on it. Close this. And now every time the button is pressed, you can ask with a function from the gadget module the status of the button, and will tell you if it's true or false. Another cool thing is that you can not only apply strings as captions, you also can apply pictures, but it's a little tricky. The first thing you have to do is you have to erase the caption string. This must be an empty string. Click on apply and close. So you can see now the button is empty. Now we're gonna open a picture in Oberon. So let's open the documents panel. It's always my first choice when I'm looking for something special. And let's check for pictures. Here you have a lot of pictures that are contained in the system, and for example I like the molecules picture, this one here. Okay, what we get here is called a Rembrandt frame, because Rembrandt is the application Oberon to generate and manipulate pictures. So we can close this document panel for now. And now we can transfer this this picture into this button by a consume click. That means you have to grab this picture on the corner by clicking the middle mouse button, going over to this button and make a consume at a click with the left mouse button, like this. And you see, now you have a button with a picture, and it works. If you want to get this picture out again, it's a little tricky. You have to apply a special command. That means you cannot drop a second picture on the first one and the second one is deleting the first one. This is done by a special command, and this is basic gadgets break. You have to select the button and execute basic gadgets break, and you can see now it's removed from the button again, and the system, you can say it's pulling the picture out again and inserting it here in the system log. Okay. So, and now I'm going to tell you something more about radio buttons. You can configure the Oberon button gadget as a compound as a radio button. That means you press one button at a time and all the other buttons are released. So for this purpose, let's get a cool background. We use a panel here. We enlarge it a little bit and we place some buttons here. Place this button and another one and another one. Okay. Now we select the first button, we go into Columbus and we name it button 1 and the caption is 0. And now the setVal field comes into play. SetVal means it's a predefined value that the button emits when he's pressed. And the system uses this to take this value to read it out for the system, for the application you want to do with this button compound, with this radio button compound, and also deselect all the other buttons in the compound. And you always have to start with the value 0. Okay, so let's keep it like this. Caption 0, apply. Then we take the next one. Columbus, we name it button 2 and we set setVal to 1. Apply. I forgot to change the caption. This must be 1. And the third button, Columbus, is button 3, setVal 2, and caption also 2. Close. Okay, now we can align those buttons a little bit to the top. That looks much smarter. And then we place a text field here. Let's place a text field. And the text field should take the set value to display it. And we give it a name. My text. Apply. Okay, and now comes the tricky part. If we want to make a radio button compound out of this, we have to apply a unique model gadget behind it. This must be an integer, because now we have to deal with integer values, because every button emits another integer value. And also the text field is linked to this same integer value because it has to display it. So we select all of these gadgets here, including this one, and apply the integer model to all of these 4. Clack. So now you can deselect it, and I hope it works. And yes, you see. Now clicking one button automatically disables or releases the other ones. And The set value is updating the integer model gadget in the background, which is automatically displayed by our text gadget. We can make this a little more neat and clean when we change the color of the LEDs a little bit, like this. And like this. Now you have red, green and blue. Doesn't it look nice? It's so cool. That means that the complete logic behind the configuration of this radio button compound here, including the display of the emitted value, is all done automatically in this gadget compound. The only thing the programmer you have to do is to access the model gadget, the integer model gadget behind it, and you're done. I think that's pretty cool. Okay, that's all for now with the button gadget. I hope you enjoyed and see you again on the next episode on the Oberon channel. Bye for now.